Nevada Jorgenson then will be next, who's going to speak for Nevada. And while you think about that, I'll at least start, because Nevada asked that I represent him. I'm proud of that, because when I first started announcing rodeos, he was rodeoing, and so I always felt like we started our careers together, so I can easily speak for him both as a friend and as a rodeo cowboy. And I was very proud of him. As we just mentioned, of course, about Denver, he was born in North Dakota, Nevada was, in 1954, but they moved to Crook, Minnesota, and he was just 6, and like so many, he thought bull riding would just be the cat's meow. Finally decided saddle bronc riding might be a little wiser, and I give him a lot of credit for that. He went on to win the 1972 Minnesota High School Saddle Bronc Riding Championship. He came back to Dickinson, went to college. He was in college with Monty Carson, Bob Hansen, Earl Moberg. He won the DSC Rodeo in 1973, got into the PRCA, and in 1975 got his card. And the first PRCA rodeo he went to was in Rochester, Minnesota, and he won it. So I thought that was it's a nice way to get started. It's kind of like winning the first race you bet on. You just think you know how to do it now, and you're never going to be poor again. But that doesn't always work, does it? 1976, Nevada married Wendy Bowman, and their son Cody was born in 79, their daughter Annie in 81, and I got to meet Annie today. Where are you sitting, Annie? I don't see you, but I know she was here. Oh, there you, oh, you're in the back. All right, nice to see you. I hate to say this because you've heard it too many times. You're just a baby when I would have seen you last. So she's grown up and with her family lives in the Bismarck area. My gosh, there's so much to say. He traveled with Tom Miller and with Brad Gjermundson, and he earned checks anywhere from Calgary down to San Antonio. He won the Wolf Point Bronc match in '81 and was runner-up in 1982. He came back and rodeoed in the NDRA and the NPRA and the Rough Riders in the 80s, and I got to announce him when he won the World Championship at the NARC Finals, as we called it, the North American Rodeo Commission in El Paso, and I think he was a runner-up. Yeah, he won in 1990 and then was runner-up in 91 in the saddle bronc riding. And he won 10 championships from 88 to 92, and then he quit competing at the top of his game. A little bit like, I don't know if you knew this, Nevada, but it's a little bit like Joe DiMaggio. He quit while he was still ahead, so that's a good one to follow. He's the vice president currently of Northern Improvement. He's worked for 30 years. He's recognized last year for his years of serving as a director for the North Dakota Lignite Energy Council. And by the way, Nevada and Wendy, I think if they were given their choice talking about all this stuff, they'd still probably brag more about their 6 grandchildren, as most of us would. So Nevada Jorgenson is a candidate. And Brad, I'll let you take over.
Well, Nevada, he was the guy that took me when I was able to go to the first winter rodeos. He took me, he'd been there and done that, and what a savings that was, because he knew the contractors, he knew the stock, he knew the other cowboys, and he just got me off on a good note going to all the rodeos. And I just remember a couple highlight rides. I remember one time at Phoenix at the JC's rodeo, Nevada had a horse called Tiny Tim, and he wasn't a day off, that Tiny Tim horse. He was not in the chute or in the arena. And I just remember Nevada sliding in there real easy and being in control and getting out of that horse, a horse that a lot of people had trouble with, and just spurred the hair off him and made just a great ride. And another time I remember real well was the year he won the Wolf Point match bronc riding, biggest bronc riding going on in those days. And I think they had 30 or 35 guys entered, and all the top guys were there. And Nevada walked away with the buckle, just won it all. And it was had a lot of good times traveling with him, and he was, well, like all the Jorgensons, a very fierce competitor, and I think he's very deserving to be into the Cowboy Hall of Fame. Thank you.